Let's play some Sentinels.
Oh, pickle fans, come on.
Oh, you've been quoted out of context. You must be a famous person now.
I am a famous person now. But we're gonna win. Unless the environment kills us. So yeah, I could have waited and
We have damage! Grand Warlord boss!
I did not think that would work out, but it did. Well done, team.
Woo! Good evening, everybody.
Hello.
Hello. It's Tuesday, it's 7-ish, so that means it's time to welcome you all to Sentinels Live. Thank you for joining us around the digital tabletop while we play Sentinels of the Multiverse and maybe some other things. The goal of these streams is to have some fun while showing you how to play the game as well as covering some strategies that can help you win. I see the chat has already noticed that, yes, we're going to play a little bit of weird baseball. The tablet version is so close to release, and so we wanted to show you what that looked like. Yay, baseball. If you do enjoy the show, please like, share, follow, and subscribe, and be sure to check out the other shows right here at twitch.tv/Handelabra Games. Dolphins Dive is on Thursdays at 7 p.m. Eastern, but not this week. If you're a typical follower of Dolphins Dive, just be advised that they are not going to be broadcasting this week, and by they I mean him. He will be right back where he needs to be next Thursday at 7 p.m. And then, of course, on Sundays, we've got Tales from the Archive that is also at 7 p.m. Eastern. Also, if you've been trying to catch up on the back episodes, it's taken a little bit longer for those to get posted in the last week. That is because Krista, a.k.a. Drista, a.k.a. Ketchup Rocket, is in Japan. And so I have been doing double duty as not only all the things that I normally do, but all the things that Krista also does. And so it's taken me a little bit of time to not only relearn all of the things that she does for us, but then actually get them done while I'm trying to do all the other things that I do. So,
but she's back soon.
She'll be back soon. She's on vacation. It's actually a really cool story. She went with a friend of hers to go find some of his long lost relatives. So I'm sure she'll be willing to chat about it. Maybe we'll get her on a live stream and she can tell some story about her exploratory adventure in Japan at some point. I'm Jeremy. I'm back. I know I was out last week, but I'm here again. Yay! It turns out that having 3 kids between the ages of 5 and 12 means that I tend to have a lot of things to do in the evenings. And at the beginning of school, that's especially true. We've had curriculum night after curriculum night to just go and learn about what the kids are learning and how that is all going to work out. So, but I should be back now for a relatively unbroken string of Tuesdays, hopefully. So I'm Jeremy. You can follow me at Mr. J Handel. That's MRJHANDEL. Joining me as always is John. Where can people find you, John?
You can find me at Migrant P or Migrant Programmer.
Migrant Programmer. That's the one. And of course, you can always follow the company at Handelabra, HANDELABRA, at Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, and of course, Handelabra Games here on Twitch. As we are the developers, you can also be sure to get some insight into the process and maybe see some stuff before anyone else, like, I don't know, the tablet version of our second game. Maybe.
Something else.
The game does include a tutorial that covers the basics, but we always do our best to explain exactly what we're doing, when we do it, and why. And depending on how long it takes for us to win or lose, we typically play at least 2 games in every 2-hour episode. Sentinels of the Multiverse is currently available for iOS, Android, as well as PC, Mac, and Linux via Steam, and always in good old analog cardboard and ink. Check out sentinelsdigital.com for more info and to download and try the demo absolutely free. And if you do already own the game, we would love it and super appreciate it if you would rate and review us on your chosen store. That really does help to spread the word and get more people into the worlds of the multiverse.
That's right.
That is right. All right, so yes, as some of you have noticed, we've got bottom of the 9th up on the screen here, and this is actually running literally right here on my tablet. I don't know, John, when should we give this to people, do you think?
Oh, soon.
Soon, TM?
Soon, R with a circle.
Soon, circle R. Yeah, so for those of you who have been playing Bottom of the 9th already, it came out for phones back at Gen Con, like around August 17th, 18th, something like that. But it is going to be shipping for iPads this Thursday. That's right. iPads, tablets, if you've got, you know, one of those phablet Android phones that's somewhere in between, you'll be able to get your bottom of the ninth on. All right, John, do you want to play away game or exhibition game? Ranked or unranked? What do you think?
Either way. Did you get an error there or something? Pull that back up.
Cannot connect to the server. I'm an idiot. Hang on. Oh, uh-oh, what's that? You guys are seeing some... I forgot that I put it on airplane mode because I'm an idiot.
We're going to play multiplayer in airplane mode.
Yeah, I realized that what I wanted to do was actually I wanted to silence stuff, so I wanted to put it on Do Not Disturb. That's what I meant to do. And what is this? Is this iOS 11? Oh, so cool. You guys all getting ready to order your new iPhone 10s? Ooh, exciting. All right, so yes, so I'm in ranked, playing away game.
All right, well, while you're waiting, why don't you play a game? I'm checking out this really cool stream on Twitch. You can check it out and show you on my phone.
So I'll minimize that and maybe play
pretty cool stream every Tuesday night. Highly recommended.
Yeah, so this was actually what John is having me show you. Is you can see this cool little icon that's sitting there on the screen. This is a highly requested feature, which is I don't want to have to sit and wait for someone to join me in my game. So this is a way that you can sort of start waiting in the queue, hope to find someone to play with you, but you can go ahead and just play the regular game while you're waiting.
Against the computer or whatever.
17th Lord says, wait, did I miss the iPhone 8 and 9? You actually only missed the iPhone 9. The iPhone 8 was announced today, and the iPhone 10. What happened to 9? Must have been the same thing that happened to Windows 9.
Were you in ranked?
I thought I was.
You can bring it back up.
All right. All right, hold on. Back it up here. Game. Away game.
I swear it works.
Oh! Migrant P at Lateralis.
That's us.
That's us. Yeah, so you can see here now we've got the sort of widescreen here where you can sort of bring up individual characters on the right and sort of drag them over onto the left. Switch out some characters here.
Do that on your iPhone if you have a big iPhone.
Yes, if you want, you can...
Or a phablet.
Turn it sideways and do the thing.
It's an option you have to turn on because on a small phone, it's not very good.
All right, it turns out I need to have my door open because it's already getting too hot in here, so I'm going to come over here and open my door.
And don't take off all your clothes.
I actually did bring shorts to change into for tonight, just to make sure that I was prepared. Okay.
All right, I'm Leslie Liu against Robbie Truman.
It's the Truman Show.
So yes, you can go widescreen on your phone, as you can see here on my camera.
Mm-hmm.
But I only really recommend that if you have, like, basically an iPhone Plus or a giant Android phone.
Yeah, I mean, some people just like it, you know, to go widescreen.
You might like it landscape, and then if you want to read something, you can rotate it. But, like, things are too small on the screen if you have them like that. But on iPad, it looks great.
Wait,
and you can also you can play in portrait on iPad too, but I don't know if you want to do that. Yeah, I have an ability to make contact to foul.
Yeah.
I got you.
I know. I was like, yeah, I crushed it. Oh, I guess not.
Look at that. It's like I know what you're gonna do before you do it.
Man.
Even when I throw terrible pitches.
Sentinels of the Ninth. Yes, at some point we will definitely do the Sentinels of the Ninth. We haven't gotten there yet. So basically
Still
what you're
gonna
saying
be a
is
foul,
I don't
man.
want contact. All right, well.
I mean, it doesn't matter.
Foul.
It's gonna be a foul. It's gonna be a strike.
Ha! Now it's probably gonna be like a C1, and I'm gonna roll a 5 or some nonsense.
All 3, that's all right. You can't hit it.
Ball.
So who out there in Chatland is playing Bottom of the Ninth? I'm sure some of you are. I've seen the numbers. Oh man, that's like the 3 out of 4. You've picked the...
Ball 6. Well, let's re-roll that B.
You can't have a ball 6, John. There's only 4 balls in baseball.
To a B. Well, I think you got this ball. Throwing that in the dirt.
Put myself in the Cowan 12. All right. So I know that some of you probably tuned in because you're just dying to know who the fall of the variants is going to be tonight.
Right. Everyone got things unlocked just in the nick of time.
Yeah, we were very excited. John had like a whole plan. He's like, all right, if they haven't figured it out, we're going to play a game that's going to be like a big hint. And then what happened? Everybody figured it out. So good on you guys. So if you haven't figured that out, go to sentinelsdigital.com/fall of the variants. No spaces, just fall of the variants. And you can get information about the Argent Adept, which was unlocked just today or yesterday? Yesterday.
Yeah. Well, it might have been Sunday, but it was figured out yesterday.
Yeah, it was discovered and unlocked for the first time, I think, early in the day yesterday, and then it was the actual unlock conditions were also discovered.
Got your free reroll,
Come on.
Keep it low. Yeah, that was a tough strike. That was a tough at bat.
Yeah,
Full count. After I had you down.
Oh, Robbie.
All right, let's get my relief.
So Pricey Provinces says, are you planning to make a season pass for bottom of the ninth expansion or something else? I don't know that there's enough expansions yet for there really to be a season pass. Obviously, there's the Clubhouse. There's the Sentinels of the Ninth. There's the Pitchers Pack, and then there's the Batters Pack.
Did you say this is the Clubhouse?
There is the Clubhouse.
Okay.
Like, there's like the Clubhouse expansion, which is actually in the process of shipping right now.
Yeah, the most recent big expansion.
Right. I think it was it part of that? Was the Pitchers Pack and the Batters Pack?
Yeah, there's a couple packs with that, and then there is the couple packs which were expansions earlier, and the Sentinels of the Ninth too.
Hit by pitch. Take your
base.
Yeah,
there's lots of There's quite a few expansions, but we don't have anything to announce in terms of plans. So.
Yeah, right now we're just focusing on bringing it, the game that we've already launched, getting that onto more platforms. So like I said, iPad this Thursday, 2 days from now.
And that'll be a universal update.
Exactly.
So if you already have it, then you can suddenly play it on your iPad. If you want to get it, you can play it on both your iPad and iPhone, or on your Android tablet or Android phone.
Yep, tell your friends. And we've mentioned it before that our sort of next stop after that is going to be another platform that that we have some experience with.
Yes.
Let's see.
Oh!
Yeah! Contact! 3, 2, 1.
We're on ranked mode, so it's going to go automatically. I was getting ready to roll fast.
I know, me too.
We have to play exhibition for that. All right, 2 outs. But Citizen Anvil comes to the bat.
Tyler.
Is he going to stay away from his ace pitch? What's he going to do?
Yes!
Oh.
Trying to throw me. You can't throw me!
Oh, man. You might crush this.
Come on.
Chance to get up there. Oh, you rolled a 1. But you get a couple of re-rolls. Yeah, you can make contact, but you can't crush.
I know. That's fine. Contact
I'm okay with that. Like a 50-50 chance.
Safe.
Janigo says, I got a new Kindle with a larger screen, and it only allows the free version to be installed. The minimum version of Sentinels is now Android 4.1, I think. And so, Kindles, I don't know if I think the latest Kindles can run it, but older Kindles can't. unless you install like a different version of Android. And that's due to upgrades in the game engine we use. The free version hasn't been updated for a while, so it still supports that.
Yeah.
We probably should update the free version too, but
We probably should.
We haven't for a while because
Yeah. Yeah, I'll be honest with you. Keeping up with how Android works is like it's like if you were to compare how much time we spend trying to make things work on Android versus how much we spend making it work on iOS, it's like 80 to 20. And especially given the fact that like
and the revenue is opposite.
Yeah. Well, I should say this. Since we launched on phone, the revenue on Android is almost neck and neck with with iOS, but not. It's still a little bit less. It's not as stark as it used to be. Like when we first launched, and it was tablet only. It was way worse. Like it was like 10% of the 10 to 20% of the revenue on Android.
I think that's because no one has an Android tablet.
Yeah.
Come on, get him out!
Yes. Okay. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on.
We're all rolling 2s and 3s.
6. No, not
Thanks
you.
for the
Not you.
picture.
6.
Yeah!
Out.
That's it. I'm going to share that on Twitter. Look at those happy little guys.
I am a loser.
Yeah.
I'm a loser, baby. All right. We're switching back over to the game that I either win or lose with my friendly
Twitter account.
neighborhood,
I have an account.
John.
11 must have... it's Steam's button now. Alright, we're going to play Sentinels.
Let's play some Sentinels. You can hear me say that in the opening. Let's play some Sentinels.
The progress means that Kindle has been left behind. Some Kindles have been left behind.
Yeah. All right, so let's pop into online multiplayer.
Kindle Fire is a really nice tablet, the newer, like, relatively newer ones. For end tablets, I think they're probably the better ones.
All right, I am in Virtuoso of the Void number 3.
Hang on. Yeah, that Takewalker is talking about how the ball just inches towards the plate as they roll in. That was that kind of infinite slow motion idea was something I really wanted to have in the game when we first started talking about it.
Yep. Yeah, it's a great concept too, because it's like the game is happening. Oh,
yeah, like it's so close. Sort of had to wait for the dice roll before we know what's going to happen. Hang on, my music volume is up way too high.
Darren 20,500 says, "Will we ever get Steam Workshop support? Someone would probably add the Cauldron if so." We would love to do something like that. It really comes down to a question of cost versus like revenue. Being able to actually support mods in like an actual real way requires a lot of work. It's something we would love to do for sure. But we would need to know that like the money that we spent developing it would actually return that much in sales.
Yeah.
And
we're not Blizzard.
Yeah, exactly. And we just, it's just not a thing that we can guarantee at this point. I would love to. I mean, hey, I'd love to see the Cauldron in the digital game. I'd love to see people coming up with their own decks in the game, but that's just not a thing that we can guarantee at this point. So, ooh, that was a combination that seemed interesting that I just moved away from. Deadline and Final Wasteland. Have we ever played Deadline and Final Wasteland? I don't think we have.
I have on the tabletop, and I'm sure I have sometime.
Yeah, I mean, it's possible that I have too, but I like this idea of like two different characters that can both, or two different things that can both remove stuff from the game.
Right. People are pretty excited about Rebel Yell getting to play with Xtreme Primordial's Argent Adept, who, as someone pointed out, never misses leg day. He definitely has the 90s legs.
Oh, yes. All right, so it looks like we're going to be playing Deadline. Let's pop Deadline open and actually... Oh, I meant to double-click, but apparently I only single-clicked. Where did Deadline go? All right, so let's pop Deadline open here and see what his... Advanced is whenever a catastrophe card is destroyed, Deadline, it deals each hero target 3 infernal damage, and challenge, villain device cards are indestructible. Do we want to give ourselves an added challenge at any point this evening, you think?
Sure. I think advanced is harder than challenge.
All right, let's do challenge then. So challenge is villain device cards are indestructible. So that's what we'll do. And we're in the final Wasteland, and it looks like we've got an almost entirely extreme team, but I think Guise would say that he's pretty extreme himself.
He's pretty extreme.
So we got Extreme Prime Wardens Tempest, Guise, Extreme Prime Wardens Fanatic, and Extreme Prime Wardens Argent, Adept at the final Wasteland. Boom.
I like that our player tags are opposite colors.
It is with great regret that I destroy your civilization, humans. It is the only way. Look to the skies, see what I'm about to unleash upon you. You think you can hope to stand against the storm? All right, so Tempest, let's pop him open. For anyone who's new, Extreme Prime Wardens Tempest, his power is, I've been thunderstruck! Tempest deals 1 target, 1 lightning damage. A non-character target dealt damage this way loses any end of turn effects on its card until the start of Tempest's next turn. Tempest opens with Chain Lightning, Grievous Hailstorm, Lightning Slash, and Reclaim from the Deep. Guys,
ready to bring the thunder.
Ready to bring the thunder. Guys, I got a blatant reference, retcon. Yeah, I'm that guy. And where did I leave that? Extreme Prime Warden's Fanatic, whose power is Kill the Spirit. Fanatic deals 1 target, 1 radiant damage until the end of your next turn. Redirect all damage dealt by Fanatic to that target. A very interesting power. I've played a lot with her in testing to try and figure out how this can change the way she plays, and there's some really cool stuff you can do with this.
Especially with Holy Nova.
Yes, she opens with Holy Nova, Prayer of Desperation, Sanctifying Strike, and Zealous Offense. And then Extreme Prime Warden's Argent Adept, who I shouldn't even bother reading at this point because you've all been playing with him since yesterday when they figured out how to get him. But that's Rebel Yell! The Argent Adept deals 1 target other than himself 2 sonic damage. If a hero is dealt damage this way, they play a card and use a power. Alright, so let's see what Deadline, soon to be Lifeline, has for us. The Atomic Enclave comes out, which is a device, which would make it indestructible.
Get some catastrophes.
It is catastrophic.
Or catastrophes.
Oof. All right. So let's look at these catastrophes real quick. So we've got a Subduction Super Zone. At the start of the villain turn, Deadline deals each non-villain target 1 irreducible melee and 1 irreducible fire damage. Severed Ley Line. At the start of the villain turn, each player shuffles their trash into their deck and Deadline regains 2 HP. Another Subduction Super Zone, which is red, and an Unleashed Hurricane. At the start of the villain turn, 2 players must put 1 card from hand on top of their deck. Then Deadline deals the 2 non-villain targets with the highest HP 1 cold damage each.
I can destroy one of them for sure, but that's about it.
Okay.
And you might be lucky and draw something that lets us destroy more.
Yeah, I'm looking. I think I might just Lightning Slash Deadline and then base power the Enclave, which even though I can't kill it, I can remove its damage dealing.
Sure.
Alright, so we'll do 5 against Deadline. And then I will Thunder Strike the Enclave. And I draw it into the Stratosphere. Nice.
Cool, that's good.
Yeah.
Alright. Which of these catastrophes is the worst? I guess one of the ones that does 2 damage each, probably. Unleashed Hurricane is annoying, but it's not too bad. And do I want to play, or do I want to draw? I think I want to draw. Hey. I can play that. And whack Deadline some more.
Whack. Xtreme Prime Wardens Fanatic is a hairstylist. That's what she's fanatic about. All right. So, as John was saying, so something like Holy Nova can be very interesting.
It's more better when there's lots of targets.
When there's lots of targets and once I've actually used my base power. Like, if I used it right now, nothing would happen. It would just do what it's normally doing. But if I were to, like, Sanctifying Strike and then use my base power and then use Holy Nova next turn, that could be good. Because, yeah, if you look at her, so her base power is kind of like Dark Watch Expatriates, where it's like you use it this turn and it lasts until the end of your next turn. Which also means that you can sort of get into this power and never get out of it if you don't pay attention. But it's also can be very useful if you're going to use it for good things. All right, so let's see. Yeah, I don't think I need to use any. Well,
Sanctifying Strike.
Yeah, I was trying to decide, like, should I maybe Prayer of Desperation get 3 more cards now since it's early? Yeah, I'll Sanctifying Strike. It's fine. I'll get 1 more card.
You get End of Days.
Final Dive.
Handy, but you didn't.
And yeah, I mean, at this point, I feel like going after Deadline with her is fine. And so now I can maybe, hopefully, some more targets will come out, and then I'll have some more damage to deal next turn.
All right, I think I'll play Arcane Cadence and see what I come up with. Oh yeah, Saraband Day of Destruction. I'll want that. So I'll hold on to Vernal Sonata and Instrumental Conjuration.
So there's a question in the chat. If you use Kill the Spirit 2 turns in a row, is the second use forced to the first target?
Well,
I'm
it gets
assuming the answer
redirected
would be
to
yes.
that target. Yeah.
Right.
So. Yeah. So, does anyone want me to hit them to play a card and use a power? I could do it to Guise. Unless Tempest or Fanatic want.
I mean, yeah, neither of us are dying for it, so...
Alright, Guise it is.
Well, actually... Hang on a second here. If I... Oh, you've already done it. That's fine. I was just trying to look through my cards while you were asking that question.
Too slow!
Yep, no, it's fine.
Guise the Barbarian.
I'm
going to hit myself to draw a card.
Mongolian Deathworm.
It's going to be destroyed.
Shoofle.
Yeah, give Guys more card draw. I'll take it.
Look what I found.
Anyone have cards they don't want? Argent Adept can put one on top. One of yours?
Yeah, it's early. I can... Tempest can put Reclaim Play Deep on top.
Okay.
Leo9981 says, any news or info about PAX Unplugged? I mean, aside from the fact that we're hoping to go, that's about as much news as we've got at this point.
Yes. Also, I noticed before, thanks Leo9981 for resubscribing. And they've been subscribed for 4 months.
Whoa.
So
OG cool. Subscriber. Nice work.
We lost an abominable snowman. And the rat beasts are out of the game. That's good. 2 of them, anyway. They're usually bad for us.
All right. So the Pandemonium key has come out. The first time an environment target enters play each turn, play the top card of the villain deck, and we cannot get rid of that.
Yep.
Well, I could into the Stratosphere it, right? Or can they not?
you?
Can they not leave play at all?
They're indestructible.
Oh, I see. 1 non-indestructible villain card. Got it. Okay. Well, in the interest of doing as much damage as possible, I will play my Chain Lightning so that I can hit him for 4. And then I guess I'll hit these for whatever. And then I will once again Thunder Strike the Atomic Englave to keep it from dealing damage to us. And there's that Reclaim from the Deep.
Reclaimed.
What a shock.
Well, I have a retcon, but there's no ongoing cards around. So that's fine. Yeah, I might just whack. I guess I could whack Deadline a bunch, or I could let the Argent Adept scream at me to do even more damage. So I think I'm going to do that. Guise the Barbarian time. And we'll just pile on.
So Bishop083 says, super excited for PAX Unplugged. It's happening so close, I can sleep in my own apartment. So you're a Philadelphia or Philadelphia suburbs native, it sounds like?
Cool.
Yeah, so it says you're listed on the website as an exhibitor. Yes, we have space reserved at PAX Unplugged. The goal is that we are planning to go to Unplugged. That's the plan, Stan.
Yes. Yeah, it seems like it'll be a cool show, so hopefully we will make it. And I think Greater Than Games is planning to be there too.
Yes, I think that is correct. I feel like I'm going to hold on to Holy Nova for now. Because I feel like I could use it to better effect later when we're lower on HPs. And just keep hitting Deadline for now.
Sure.
Because it's only, there's only 3 targets, so. Yeah, Jesse C says, ironically though, I have a friend who lives in PA, but they live on the entirely opposite side of the state. Yes. Like, to drive from Cleveland to Pittsburgh is like, oh, great, like 2.5, 3 hours. To drive from Cleveland to Philadelphia is like 7.5, 8 hours. It's a very different thing. Pennsylvania is a big place. But we are driving.
Is getting angry.
You wouldn't like me when I'm angry.
I think I'll draw a card because I don't have one that's going to deal damage straight away.
So I kind of glossed over it, but who watched the Apple event today, huh?
I did.
John and I did. iPhone 10 looks pretty sweet.
Are you thinking of getting any of the new iPhones?
Well, my wife is still rocking an iPhone 6, so she's definitely going to probably get an 8. Like a base level 8, probably not an 8 plus. I'm probably going to hold off on a phone upgrade. Ooh, excuse me. I'm definitely getting a 4K Apple TV. There's no question on that. Probably 2 of them. And then I really considering getting the 3rd generation Apple Watch. Because I love my Apple Watch. Unnatural disaster.
Yeah, I hope they refresh the iPhone SE in the spring or something, and I'll switch to that. Because I have a 6S, and I just don't like how big it is.
Yeah, I have an SE, which I switched back to after I had a 6, then I got a 6S, and then I lost my 6S, and so I bought an SE. And I much prefer the smaller form factor. It's just, it fits my sensibilities more.
You can actually, if you put one on top of his deck, I can discard it. Yeah, let's do that.
Which one?
One, it doesn't matter. One of them.
All right.
Guise after Tempest is a good combo.
Deadline's going to prove that the final Wasteland is in fact the penultimate Wasteland.
It's the final Wasteland. Was Brett at Gen Con doing that?
He wasn't.
Hmm.
Yeah, Brett and the twins. None of them were at Gen Con this year.
Weird.
I was bummed.
All right. First things first. Discard that business. And then let's go ahead and retcon a different one. Yeah, those ones with the environment, I don't like that. And then I'll play another card. Maybe I'll play I Can Do That Too on the Argent Adept.
Ooh. Midnight bats at the edge of time. Woohoo!
Which one did you get?
I got Midnight Bats at the Edge of Time.
That's what I got too.
Midnight Bats at the Edge of Time. So I will say this actually. So John was watching the Greater Than Games panel, which was the podcast episode, and he actually had to ask me. He was like, hey, did the guy that was the voice actor for Guise show up at Gen Con and ask a question in their panel? And I was like, no, that was me. I practiced before I went to Gen Con. And I actually fooled John, my
You did really well.
into believing that I was actually Guise.
I should have saved that until I didn't realize. So since I copied this power, I could hit Argent Adept with it for him to use a different power. Oh, but actually, yeah, I could hit the Argent Adept, and he can summon an instrument and play it.
Mm-hmm.
Good combo. I probably want my deck, but I don't know what Guise discarded on me. Oh yeah, I want my deck. I want the drum. Yeah, I really thought that was Joe.
I loved being Guise at Gen Con. Like, now that I have that costume, I expect to see Guise definitely at more shows. I really enjoyed being Guise.
Do you want to zealously offend, perhaps?
Yes, I still have my other thing in play, right?
Yeah.
No, I used Absolution my last turn. No,
Yeah,
right,
but
Zealous Offense. Yeah, no. Sorry, I thought you meant Holy Nova. Yes, that's fine. I can zealously offend.
Okay. And at the start of your turn, you can use Tempest to do other things instead of hitting the Atomic Enclave. And I'm going to destroy... Man, we're going to be destroying four catastrophes. 4 catastrophes came out, 4 catastrophes go down.
It is definitely a catastrophe for the catastrophes this turn.
I mean, we discarded one, but close enough.
It's pretty catastrophic, if you ask me.
I think they're trying to figure out what song Guise is singing. I think it's a song from the Xtreme universe that we don't know.
Yeah. Alright, so Final Dive isn't going to do much. We're still all in pretty good shape with HPs. Alright, I'm going to put up my Aegis, and then I'm going to use this. And then I can maybe use my other thing next turn.
It does remind me of Limousine 2, Take Walker.
Limousine! Tarantula! Or Limousine.
What, I gave you Zealous Offense and then you didn't use it? Like you didn't deal enough damage?
Yeah, I guess I didn't.
Okay. Did you want to do that?
Whatever.
All right. I'll play Vernal Sonata. Would anyone like to move cards on top of their deck? Hey, I discarded Gene-Bound Shackles on you. You might want that back.
Yeah, I'll take that. It's fine.
And I'll put a Redcon on top because that's handy.
Everyone all together now. Why would you do that? What did you do?
Did you have anyone shouting catchphrases at you at the Gen Con Sentinels Live?
We definitely had some audience participation for sure. We had to warm them up. It started, some of the people were very sort of like, oh, those are those people that are like up there on stage and we're not supposed to talk. And we had to be like, no, like you guys are the chat. Like yell at us if we're doing something stupid. And then once we got them warmed up, they were into it. It worked out really well.
Oh, there was a Kargra chant. I like that.
Yes, there totally was. Kargra, Kargra, Kargra.
Someone can play a card. Who want play a card? Not letting Fanatic play a card. Fanatic's not making use of the cards I give her. Perhaps Guise. Then Guise can get that card that I put on top for him.
Ooh, good call, Sonic Blade. Let's try to find an expat face palming and make that one of the emotes.
Good.
For subscribers.
Oh yeah, yeah, because we've only made one, right? I think we have more slots that
we have at least one more slot, possibly two, depending on how many subscribers we've got. That's actually how they decide how many you get. Like more subscribers, you get, the more emotes you get. Yep.
Do you want the bunker?
I like the bunker.
The rat beasts are gone.
I much prefer the library.
The rat beasts are gone, so oh, but he's got the Penguin key, so he's playing more cards with the... Well, there's your library.
There's the library, alright.
Deadline's going to be playing lots of cards if we let the environment play cards all the time. Just
yeah,
so you know.
and I know that it's like, it is definitely playing with fire to let the Ancient Library stay out, because like that plays a card in order for you to draw two, right? Isn't that what it is? Or is it, which one is...
Yeah, you draw two to play the top card of the environment deck.
Yeah.
Which is probably going to be a target, which means Deadline will play a card. So I don't think that calculus is worth it.
Okay. Yeah, against other villains, a lot of times I consider it to be worth it because getting more of the environment targets out that can go after the villain as well as us, especially if Final Wasteland is out, or Unforgiving Wasteland, excuse me, is out. Yeah. So let's see. Do I have something I want to play? Yeah, I have something I can play. It's fine. Yeah, and I think this is going to get me more bang for the buck, so I'll use this. And there's that Gene Mount Shackle, which I can get out next turn, hopefully.
Yay! Well, I can retcon one of those thingies. And do I want to play? Or do I want to draw? Maybe I'll play a card. High five Tempest. Yeah.
Good.
And use Grievous Hailstorm.
The hailstorm, it is so grievous. All right. So
I think this version of Fanatic has like even more epic wings than regular Fanatic.
I believe it.
I think it's because she doesn't have the armor that like they just are much bigger looking on her.
Yeah. All right, now's a good time to Holy Nova.
And it all goes to Deadline.
And then we'll heal up my teammates. And then...
And then...
And then... No, and then... And then I will Absolve deadline.
All right. I guess I could do another Arcane Cadence. Maybe I'll get a Silver Shadow. Look at that.
I see one.
Who should play a card? Let's see. I guess Fanatic could play Prayer of Desperation for free.
Sure. Divine Focus. Chastise. Wrathful Retribution.
Nice.
All right, so now we just need to wail on Fanatic.
And I have another Arcane Cadence. Now I do want a Syncopated Onslaught to start boosting up some damage. So I'll put that in hand, that on top, that on the bottom, and that in the trash. And Lateralis has gone AFK.
I have to run to the bathroom real quick.
All right.
I was not expecting this. I apologize to everybody. John will keep you entertained for 2 minutes.
That's basically what I do. I guess I'll have Guise play a card so that I don't mess with whatever Jeremy's doing. And well, let's use Say Cheese to do a little damage. Entertain us. Here we are now. Like that. And I'm going to destroy that Severed Ley Line. Oh, you enjoyed the Clown College. Good. It's my crowning achievement. Yeah, Clown's Bunker. No more playing environment cards, please, because of that whole playing villain cards thing. And the Chupacabra really likes to kill the Endglaive. Oof, that Orogenesis. It'll probably be Jeremy's turn by the time he gets back. I guess I can do this. For both of my characters. Sure. Well, let's keep it rolling. Keep on riding. We've got a flip. We've got a flip here. Flipping deadline. And we lose the Horrid Skunk Ape, my favorite. Does anyone know what Epiku is talking about when they say Mystic Knights of Tir-na-Nog? I do not know what you're talking about. So.
I have returned.
Welcome back.
I apologize for having to disappear like that.
It's all right. We were just watching the environment and villain do their thing.
All right. Yeah, I had, against my better judgment, I went to a different place than I usually go for dinner on Tuesdays this week, and they had, it was like $2 martini night or $3 martini night, and they had a thing called s'mores, which was absolutely delicious, and I should not have drank it, but I did.
You drank a sugar thing?
It was so good. It literally tasted like s'mores in a cup, and it was absolutely delicious.
Well, I guess you got to treat yourself once in a while.
So, yeah, once in a while. Yes, I just recently clocked in at having lost my 50th pound. So I
Nice.
felt like it was time to treat myself to a little bit of s'mores in a cup with alcohol.
Oh, I don't really want to play one of these cards. So I'm going to skip that and draw a card and do a damage. But he's not at 23. I think we're near the end here.
Yeah. That's why I didn't feel so bad sneaking out for a second, because it feels like we've got him well in hand here. Let's see. Wrath through Retribution. It's only going to do 12. I mean, 12 is still 12.
12's 12.
Is my thing in play right now? No. Kill the Spirit is not.
You can do Divine Focus and then use Kill the Spirit, and then that extra 4 fire damage goes to Divine. But you probably get more actually out of Wrath of Retribution than that.
Yeah, that's fine. Wrathfully retribute. Boom. A bunch of whippersnappers in the chat. Middle school in the early 90s. Middle school? I was in high school in the early 90s.
I was in middle school in the early 90s.
Talking about whippersnappers.
Born in 81.
I am a Zennial, which is a new word that's been invented in the last, I don't know, 6 months. Which is, my understanding is Zennials are 1977 to 1983.
The middle between Generation X.
Yeah, between X and Millennials.
Y.
And it's the people who grew up basically like with an analog childhood, but then transitioned into digital as they were like in high school, college. So like I spent my high school time on America Online, and I went to college. I graduated from high school in 1995, and I went to college and like got my first real email address, defined as not an AOL email address, when I went to college in 95. And I think the whole 77 to 83 thing is that, like, there are people who were born in 80 who may or may not have gotten a real email address in high school, but, like, really was kind of like, you know, the internet wasn't really a thing until we were cresting adulthood, is what the whole Zennial thing is talking about.
I have to destroy a card because I did it wrong. Oh well.
I love seeing the different. Yeah, I think it's so cool how the different types of people that like this game. So like we got like Aaron is 81, Django is 82. We got Pootlaroo is college in the early 90s. Seamus Butler 74. Pootlaroo born in 68. Yeah, so like we've got a whole gamut of people. And my kids played this game, and they are born in the 2000s. My daughter actually said to me one time when we were talking about something she learned about at school. She was like, yeah, we learned about this thing happened like a really long time ago, like in like 19 something. Like,
well, yeah, right?
I know, like that's like the ancient history to them.
How do you think people felt when people were talking about the 1800s like that?
I
Same
know.
thing. Time marches on.
Yeah, Krista, I want to say Krista was born in 95, 94? 94, 95, something like that. She's in her early 20s. This is her first job out of college.
I find it's really interesting how quickly it takes for things to seem like it's always been that way.
Mm-hmm.
Like, people are, for weddings, the bride has always worn white. Nope. That started in like 1940s.
Yep.
Right? Like, that is not at all a thing that has always been. It's really recent. The diamonds thing, all kinds of stuff.
Oh yeah, pink for girls, blue for boys.
Yeah, like pink is a boy's color as late, like recent ago as like 1920s.
Yep.
But it's just like, I don't know. I think that's a bit of those who do not learn history are doomed to repeat it.
Yes, I agree with that assessment.
All right, Deadline. I know you're giving your last gasp here, but You have 7 hit points. Just give it up.
That's fine. Keep throwing out the death rattle at us. It's not gonna work. I don't want to bother with any of this stuff. It's fine. Whatever.
The Ataxia Spear was the highest hit points. All right, guys. We got this. Maybe.
Jesse C says, my problem is that for some reason, the time range from 0 to 10 has vanished. I keep having to remind myself that 1990 was 20 years ago and not 10. I know. I hear you about that.
Guise does have this. It's all Guise.
I mean,
Best
not
hero ever.
to go down this particular route, but I was actually talking about this with my wife last night about how, yesterday was 9/11, and like I remember growing up and people talking about like the JFK assassination and being like, oh, that's a thing that I will never have a touch point for, and 9/11 is the thing that my kids will never have a touch point for. You know what I mean? Like they have no like that was like 5 years ago when my oldest was born. And so, like, that's just a thing that's always been in the past for them. And it's like, for those of us who lived in a world and then the world changed on that day, like, that's not a thing for them. It's so interesting to think about. I'll be honest with you. I'm thinking about this a lot more because I'm reading a book right now called Seven Eves, which is a book about basically sort of, in some ways, the end and re-beginning of human civilization. And it is making me sort of rethink how I think about time scales. If anyone out there in Chatland has read Seven Eves, you'll probably know what I'm talking about. But it's a really, really good book. I haven't been able to stop myself from reading it, so I'm going to blow through it, and like maybe tonight. Depending on when we get out of here, I might blow through the rest of it tonight. And it's like an 850-page book, so.
I like that JZC said, I keep having to remind myself that 1990 was 20 years ago and not 10. And then Leo reminds JZC that 1990 was basically 30 years ago.
Oh, man. Yes, like, I remember when I all of a sudden was at the point where, like, I've lived longer since I graduated from high school than I was old when I graduated from high school. That was when I started to feel like I was an old man. And that was like 3 years ago. Oh. All right.
Gotta stay young at heart.
I feel like we haven't played a team game in a while on the stream. Sure. So let's do that.
I will take 2 random hero.
As will I.
I'm hero until I get an extreme one. I got 2 extreme ones we already played.
Wait, why do I have 3? That's not right. Boom.
I'll take that, and I'll take Extreme, Prime Wardens, Captain Cosmic.
Ooh, nice.
Cool.
Ooh, that's interesting. Yeah, that's interesting. All right, so we got Operative Sergeant Steel, Citizens Hammer and Anvil, and Bugbear against Team Leader Tachyon, Freedom 6 Absolute Zero, Extreme Prime Wardens, Captain Cosmic, and Dark Visionary. Cool. At Silver Gulch. All right, let's make it happen.
It was a great deadline game. It came right down to the deadline.
Yeah, everyone was under 10 HP.
We took out like 12 environment cards as well.
You stand against me, most unwise. The dragons shall be done. Running out of time. Keep together, team. We can make this work. All right.
Just want it to always be Captain Cosmic's line.
Yeah, totally.
Or whatever.
Oh, Jesse says, I remember once someone talking about hearing Nirvana on an oldie station on an airplane. I did the math and realized I was technically valid, and then I had an existential crisis. All right, ready for this one? I was still in high school when Kurt Cobain died, and he died on my birthday. So do with that what you will. All right, Tachyon opens.
You have a birthday every year.
I do have a birthday every year, but I'm just saying, like, I remember it was my birthday that I was hearing about how Kurt Cobain had killed himself. And I was not even, I think I was a junior in high school. I want to say it was 94 that happened. All right, HUD goggles, hypersonic salt, and 2 pushing the limits. Absolute Zero's got 2 fueled freezes. Fueled freezes. A modular realignment and a Sub-Zero atmosphere, the card that I have yet to play ever, I think, on a stream. Captain Cosmic has got... Actually, let's pop him open since he's new.
What's the matter, Jeremy?
Can I play with madness? That's Xtreme Prime Warden's Captain Cosmic. He deals 1 target, 1 energy damage, and then each construct deals that target 1 energy damage. He opens with a Cosmic Weapon, a Destructive Response, a Potent Disruption, and a Wounding Buffer. And Dark Visionary, who, if you guys have been listening to the letters page, you know all about who Dark Visionary is. With Brain Burn, Decoy Projection, Suggestion, and Twist the Ether. All right.
And you can destroy whatever ongoings come out.
Tick Walker says, Nirvana's oldies. I still can't get over Poison being oldies. I went to see Poison in concert when I was in 6th grade, and I thought I was like the dopest dude ever. I was like, I got to go see Poison in concert. CC DeVille was rocking it on the guitar. Oh, man. In a year and 4 months, there will be adults born in a different century than you, says Seamus Butler.
I saw Dinosaur Jr. play probably about 3 or 4 years ago. That was pretty awesome. They're getting up there, but they're still awesome. Like, that was like the definition of a guitar hero.
Well, yeah, and that's like Metallica.
The guitar is like so good. Yeah.
Like Metallica were like the crazy, like, you know, next level metal heads when I was in, you know, in the late 80s, early 90s when I was getting into metal. Now they are like the grizzled old men of hard rock. Like, they're not even really metal anymore. It's like, it's crazy to think about.
Are they still doing anything, Metallica?
I mean, they had an album like last year.
Okay.
Or 2 years ago?
I feel like it's like the last relevant thing they did was try to sue Napster.
Napster bad! Actually,
all right. Oh, this is my turn.
That's
like,
a
Jeremy,
perfect...
take your turn.
I kept trying to drag it, pushing the limits up. That is actually a perfect touch point because I showed that Flash, quote-unquote, Flash animation to Krista, and she had never seen it before. Napster bad!
Napster bad! All right, this isn't going to get through to Hammer and Anvil, but it's good to hit everything else. So.
Yeah.
And you get a card, and you get a card, and you get a card.
Today on Sentinels Live, experiencing your midlife crisis. Yes.
Jeremy's gonna go buy a motorcycle after the stream.
Oh no, I'm redoing my home theater. That's my midlife crisis.
And then driving your motorcycle out of your home theater.
All right, Sergeant Steele.
Yeah, you're doing your home theater after it was underwater.
It was underwater, and I'm taking this opportunity to upgrade all of the pieces of it.
Cool.
So,
not as underwater as Houston or Florida, but
no, it was definitely not to that length, but it was certainly underwater. I think it was 4 inches, 5 inches of water.
Who wants a mission objective?
If you type Napster bad into Wikipedia, it takes you to Metallica's page.
Maybe Absolute Zero, because they sometimes do fire damage, and he might like that.
Sure.
Extreme Jeremy, riding his motorcycle at the edge of time.
Riding my motorcycle! Alright. Yeah, I don't have any things in yet. What's the ongoing situation?
Field freeze. Yeah, there are 2.
Tornado. Yeah, that's fine. Boom.
Actually, there's 3 because
there's 3.
Objective. There you go. Destroy all ongoings. Yeah, that's like the best start. Like, if you could say, oh, you'll play a villains game, and Absolute Zero starts with both copies of Field Freeze.
Yeah.
Yes, please.
I don't think there's any issue with order here, so I'll just blast it out. Boom, 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 boom! All right.
Boom, boom.
And boom, boom. All right, what's our number 1 target here?
Number 1 target? Hammer and Anvil are pretty bad, but if you take them out, it does cause problems with Bugbear.
Right.
But, you know, is Visionary going to clean up the trash there? I don't know. She won't. There's a lot of stuff at 1. If you want to, take something out. But the Battle Medic will revive them, so...
I could take out the Battle Medic. Well, no, I don't. I only
you
have 2,
can't.
not 3.
Yeah, I mean, Sergeant Steel is pretty bad if he gets his things out. So either Bugbear or Sergeant Steel, I would say.
Yeah, and Steel's lower, which means he'll be easier to get rid of altogether, so we'll hit him.
Yeah. I think, like, Bugbear is tough to target first because you're not set up enough to deal a lot of damage.
Bastion. Probably my least favorite position card.
Yeah.
Reduce damage dealt to villain character cards other than Citizen Anvil by 2.
Yeah,
if Citizen Anvil
now
is ever
we can't
incapacitated.
hit the other character cards. We have to hit Hammer and Anvil, so. All right.
Yeah, just as he says, now I'm reminded of finding it amusing that Legacy's age in the RPG was listed as middle-aged. That's a thing that used to mean something different than it means now.
What's
like,
the middle now?
Well, that's what I'm saying, is like, I'm 40. Like, when my dad was 40, he was staunchly middle-aged, and I do not feel middle-aged yet. And he did. Like, that's the thing. It's not like I'm being, like, oh, delusional or whatever. Like, he was like, look at me, I'm middle-aged. Ha, 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 ha. Like, that was a thing when people turned 40. Nowadays, it's like...
Yeah.
I make a game company. I run a game company. I make video
40
games.
40 is the new 30.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I don't consider myself to be middle-aged. I'm sure I am by a lot of people's definition, but I don't feel that way.
All right. I'm thinking of what construct I want. I guess I feel like Visionary's power is less useful in team games, so I'm going to give this Cosmic Weapon to Visionary for her to use.
Okay. Can I play with madness?
Yes. But I need to hit... Well, actually, Hammer and Shield. Annoying. Where's the Hammer and Shield? Kill it.
Kill it with energy.
Kill it with energy. Take Walker points out. People are living longer. Middle age is going up.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, health, like, the better health care and so on is a big factor in that. Give the psychopath a magic weapon. What could possibly go wrong?
All right.
Good point.
I mean, I could... I could, like, twist the ether on Citizen Hammer, maybe. Let's see here.
You could suggestion to get Bastion away
That's true.
by putting the other one back on top.
Yeah, what was the other one?
Cover fire.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with that. All right, are we trying to get rid of Hammer and Shield, or am I hitting something else?
Yeah, we may as well get it down to one.
Yeah.
Maybe Machine Gun Guy will come out and kill everything. All those 1 HP targets. Or a Temporal Event might do it. Yep.
Sustain the portal. Yeah, skip it.
So we'll hit the Hammer and Shield first because it provides damage reduction. And then I don't think the order matters after that. Yeah. Oh, I guess Bastion is gonna block all that, but that's nothing we can do about that.
Yeah. It's at least gonna hit some of the things.
Yeah. Aha, Operative, you can't deal damage. I will hit myself for card play. Yes. Actually, I'm going to take out that Battle Medic because he's going to revive stuff. Oh, another Hypersonic Assault. Except that won't get through because of Bastion, so
I'll hold on to that.
And I think I'm going to save that Sonic Vortex till I have more burst cards. So let's all draw a card. Fleet of foot. Perfect.
I feel like I must not have played in Silver Gulch for a while because this music is like, I'm like, oh yeah.
Oh yeah, it's always been one of my favorites. It's an oldie for Sentinels.
Yep, there it is. An
Way
oldie
back
but a goodie.
Late 2014, I think. I mean, we didn't release it, I didn't think, until... But the Mini Pack 1 came out in...
January of 2015.
Yeah, but obviously...
It might have been like February 2nd, but it was like really early in 2015, yeah.
We would have been hearing this song in development, though. So.
Yes.
Captain Cosmic can take this.
All right.
All right, there's no more ongoing. I guess there is one ongoing card, but I'm not too at it.
Yeah, I feel like waiting.
I would say Field
more.
Freeze for something big.
Yeah. Get something out here so that if I get hit with some fire. All right, should I be trying to whittle down these nemesis or?
Yeah, I would just hit Anvil. I
Anvil?
wouldn't worry about those other guys. They're not doing anything. And then we tricked Anvil and Hammer to going back to their other position.
Ha ha ha!
And here, Absolute Zero can take fire damage.
Yep. All right. Still Anvil? It looks like...
Could hit Anvil, or if you want, we could start working on Bugbear.
Sure. That's fine.
All right. I'm going to give a Dynamic Siphon over to Tachyon for hilarious amounts of card draw.
Mm-hmm.
And let's all shoot Bugbear together.
Yeah, so Boogie 2003 says Silver Gulch is a pretty good environment, in my opinion. It feels very balanced. I agree. The thing I love about Silver Gulch is it is exactly what an environment in Sentinels. It's sort of a quintessential Sentinels environment, which is that it feels like it is a place that has its own stuff going on, and you're just there. You know, like the shootout that's happening between like the sheriff and the Hayes brothers, like that is something that could happen with you there or without you there. You're not necessary. And it really, to me, gives a real sense of place.
Yeah, and it's not specifically going after heroes or villains. It's going after who's ever in the way.
Yeah, I feel like in some ways the block feels very similar, where you've got like inmates and wardens and guards and stuff. You know, it's like anything that sort of feels like it's there to give you a sense of place, but not there just to trip you up. Like, to me, that would be a failure of an environment in Sentinels. It's someplace that's just there to make it more difficult for you to beat the villain.
Well, I mean, unless that's the intention, like Rook City.
Sure.
Rook City, like, I think the intention is, like, it is a way to make things more difficult.
Yeah, and to be fair, Rook City does still feel very thematic, you know? Like, it makes sense. All right. What do I want to do here? Yeah, I think
Tachyon's going to be doing a lot of area damage if you want to give her Twist the Ether.
Okay. Yeah, I was looking at Twist the Ether, and I was like, maybe I'll Twist the Ether on Hammer.
It's always good to have an Absolute Zero, too.
Right, yeah, I was gonna say, like, yeah, if I do it to Hammer, I can, like, boost it when it's fire against Absolute Zero, but then, like, reduce it when it's elsewhere, but, yeah, this is fun.
Yeah, I think in a team game, giving Twisted Ether to the heroes is usually better because you don't have that, like, one source of damage that you can... I mean, sometimes it's good against the villain, but
yeah,
valuable against, like, Progeny or someone like that. Or, like, it's really good to put it on the Explosives wagon if that comes out. Or Cyrus Hayes or whatever.
Right.
Professor Pollution, killed by the sheriff.
Yeah, that's one of those things that I find that, like, when I didn't know Sentinels that well, and it was like, oh, every target that comes out is something that you want to hit. It's like, well, No, not necessarily. You know, and I think that's a good point too with Rook City. You know, like Sheriff Pratt, obviously, like he's on your side. You don't want to hit him if you can avoid it. And likewise, there are several targets in Rook City that are on your side, and you want to make sure that you know you foster the ones that are on your side while dealing with the ones that are not.
Oh no, Cosmic Weapon and Dynamic Siphon. Tachyon keeps getting to use powers. I am 100% okay with that. I'll discard a burst. Oh, I can deal myself damage but reduce it. How nice. Whatever type you want. Reduced by 1, please. I suppose I shall begin with a Fleet of Foot. And you know what my next card's going to be. It's the Tachyon Show.
Nice. Synaptic Interruption. Ooh, there's my null point calibration unit.
Alright, so first off, Hypersonic Assault is going to stop Hammer's reaction. And so you can choose your damage types, just increase it for me. I guess I could destroy Sergeant Steele's ongoing card, but it's going to destroy itself, so I don't want to waste my blinding speed on that.
I'm choosing a different type for each one of these.
Good. Oh, and reduce it to Sheriff Pratt. I guess he's not immune, I guess, so yeah. Less damage to Sheriff Pratt.
There you go.
He's a buddy. 2 more cards to play.
But Tachyon's like the worst character in the game, John.
Yeah, he's like, her attacks are so weak. I'll do a Nimble Strike, I think. Focus on Bugbear and maybe draw something else. Accelerate Assault, which I'm going to play. And you get to do that all again. Well, I drink some more scotch.
Do it. What haven't I used? I don't think I've used Projectile. There we go. And Toxic.
Getting low on this. It's my last bottle of scotch.
What kind is it?
Glengarrick.
So I have actually, there's a place near me that has been stocking recently a I think it's a Glenmorangie that's like a Caribbean cask.
Ooh,
which is really
like
good.
Rum cask.
Yeah,
Nice.
it's aged in rum casks, and it's delicious.
Yeah, I really like Glenmorangie. I'll have to look for that. Because I can get another bottle for the fall, I think. You're supposed to reduce it to Sheriff Pratt, man.
Oh, shoot.
It's
Sorry,
fine.
I was on autopilot.
Do we need everyone to draw, or can I can just use my research grant, I think. We have so many cards.
Yeah, we're pretty good.
Okay.
Pretty lousy with cards.
I can start priming the pump.
You just invented that term.
Yeah. No, I just
now.
Moments ago. No one said that
You
before.
ever heard of that? It's amazing. I just came up with it.
Yeah, what a great metaphor. Actually, I just made up that word too. It's when you describe one thing by using another thing without using like or as.
It's like an idea with another idea's hat on it.
Hey, stop using my metaphor. Copyright. Discard the top card of a hero deck. If the discarded card was a one-shot, this card deals that deck's hero character card 2 projectile damage. Tachyon's pretty happy to discard cards, so... It's a one-shot, but she's okay with that. Because how many burst cards now? A lot. I've got 8 in the trash, 2 Lightspeed Barrages, and a Sonic Vortex. Sitting pretty. Seamus Butler asks, is there any way we can get some automation for turns like that one, Twist the Ether, and blah, blah, blah. That is something that's been on the list for a long time, and if it was easy, we would have done it by now.
Yeah.
But we are planning to do it sometime, but it's not easy.
Yeah, and so, like, let's go into a little bit of why it's not easy. So, the trick with a lot of, you know, the stuff that can sort of feel like in the weeds with Sentinels is because the players are always in charge. The players are always in control. You get to choose things like order and how these things work. And anytime we automate something, we want to make sure that it is, like, 99% of the time, this is what someone wants to do. That's why we have an option for, like, when it's safe to do so, draw cards. Because it's so rare that you're not going to want to draw cards that having that be an option is very simple. But something like Twist the Ether, it, like, and we just saw it. Like, I was just doing it. I was, like, on autopilot, and all of a sudden Sheriff Pratt came up, and it was like, oh, wait, I don't want to hit him. So what, are we going to, like, code exceptions for, like, each, like, particular target that might be working for us in any particular situation? So that's what John means when he says that it's difficult, is because there would be a lot of, like, particular exceptions that we might need to code in, or, you know, other things that might make it like, oh, well, you want to do it like this 90% of the time, but that 10% of the time you want to be ready for it. So it's not an easy problem. It's like a P versus NP kind of problem. But not really.
I'll just let you say whatever you're saying, Jeremy.
Who knows what P versus NP is? Anybody? I'm sure John does. John's very smart.
I don't think I've ever heard say versus.
P versus NP?
Yes.
I mean, that's the way it was described in every paper I ever read about it.
Okay. Poor Bugbear can't deal damage.
The P versus NP problem is a major unsolved problem in computer science. That's what it's called on Wikipedia. P versus NP.
I've heard it more talked about in the context of P equals NP, and whether or not that's true.
Aha.
Maybe things have changed.
I mean, it was like 15 years ago that I read the first thing. I actually have a book on my shelf that's about P versus NP. It was actually one of the things that got me interested in potentially becoming a computer scientist, and then realizing that I was never going to be good enough at it to actually be able to do it. So. Also,
what we're talking about in Sentinels has nothing to do with that at all.
No, I know. I was kind of just being cheeky about that. It's not really. But it's basically like what John was saying is that it's complex, and, you know, to actually make it in a way that would make it the whole point of doing something like that is to make the game simpler without removing its, like, strategic stuff. And the problem is that, you know, it's hard to do. So, yeah. All right. So let's see.
You're kind of asking for the game to play for you.
Yeah, exactly. All right. What do I want to play here? Decoy projection, precognition. Are any of these villain targets doing anything interesting that I could rest the mind on them?
2 damage.
Yeah.
You could look at a deck. You could suggest something for
I'm looking at
someone.
Let's see. Yeah, team mode is definitely one of those things that, like, strains my ability to, like, think too far ahead on the villains because there's so much to track. I have a hard time figuring out what the best choice is.
Put out a decoy projection.
Yeah, I think that's gonna be that's the low-hanging fruit. So we'll do that, and then I'm gonna hit Bugbear. I like that we're getting Bugbear whittled down. I don't think I've ever played a team game where I've killed Bugbear first, so I think we should do that.
No, I usually do that.
It's just he usually has more HP, and so I usually go for, like, oh man, this person's only got 10 HP. I'll hit them first.
Yeah, but he gets stronger when you do that.
I know he does. Like I said, there's no part of me, there's no part of that sentence that was, I like to think long term. It was more, I want to hit this thing with the lowest HP first.
All right, discard the top card of each hero deck. It's just gonna happen. And it's time for Tachyon. Do I want... Yes, we're moving. Okay. Do I want to play so many cards? I have another Pushing the Limits, but I would like to play more cards. So, yes. But you can reduce it by 1 for me. All right.
All right, so our goal now is to get all the villains within striking distance so that we can destroy the explosive wagon and have that kill all the villains for us.
Were you planning to play Field Freeze, or can I blow up that Feral Brawn?
Yeah, if you want to. I hadn't thought that far ahead. Let me look at what I can do. But I don't need to do Field Freeze.
Yeah, I just want to do it to get another burst in and do more damage. So. How's my Sonic Vortex? 9 burst cards. That's pretty solid. And if I do Accelerated Assault, that'll be 10. Yeah, let's do that. Yeah, so this is an example where do you really want to change the type and increase it for all targets? You actually don't, because you don't want it. You want to reduce it for one of the targets. And having the game, telling the game that is hard in a UI way. And that this is just one thing, like one particular thing. And so one of the main reasons why we haven't done it is because it is a corner of the game. It's not something that's happening all the time. It just has to do with small parts of the game. And so, you know, we'll be more likely to spend time on something that's going to affect people when they play all the time, as opposed to, or 90% of the time, as opposed to 1% of the time.
Yeah.
So yes, it's something we have thought about and we want to do sometime, but it's complicated. Like most things in computers, the things that seem easy are the hard things. Hey, good job reducing the damage to the explosive wagon.
Yeah. I heard you say reduce it to all but 1, and I was like, wait a minute.
All right,
Did
Sonic
you mean
Vortex
all but
time.
2?
We can take out Bugbear here.
Boom.
And we can hit Anvil and Hammer. The Sergeant. This is a good Tachyon turn.
Yes.
Damage boosted Tachyon are good times. And I guess we'll get rid of the Espion Agent and Overbrook. Any heroes want damage? I don't think so. Actually, I could send fire damage to Absolute Zero. Do you want that?
Yeah. Actually, I don't have a problem with that.
Mazel. You could take out Sergeant Steel, probably. Oh, maybe not. You're 1 short.
Yeah.
And that's gonna be it, I think. And I'll draw 2 discard. And a hypersonic assault. Well, I feel like the villain team here is in rough. Looking rough. Sergeant Steele is hanging in. If these had gone to episode 0, we'd be dead.
Wah, wah.
Ouch, that bomb specialist. It's doing a number on us.
We got this.
So you could blow up 3 hero ongoing cards if we have enough. You could take out 2 of Tachyons if you wanted. There's only those 2. It's up to you. That's 3 damage to everything.
Yeah.
Or something else.
Yeah,
Sub-Zero
I'm just
atmosphere.
looking. I'm just looking. Hang on. Yeah, I don't have anything in my trash.
I
Yeah.
mean, Heartfire would be good too. So
Yeah, that's what I was looking at. Was like, okay, so I could take out several things if I Horfired here easily. Bomb specialist is Sergeant Steele. So once Sergeant Steele's gone, I don't have to worry about that. Yeah, I'm gonna Horfire. That's what I'm gonna do here. So we're gonna first take out. Let's see. Do I do? What's gonna do the maximum? If I hit Anvil for 3, and then he's gone, and I can hit myself for 2 fire and redirect that over. All right. Well, we'll take out Anvil here. So Anvil's gone. Oh, right! I get the yes, I get the reaction damage. I forgot about that.
don't forget about that.
Yeah. Alright, what's my HP? 10? Alright, so if I hit the operative for this. This might not work out the way that I wanted it to, but. So heal myself for 2. And then I'll hit.
You want to destroy the operative?
Yes! It did work out!
With the damage you forgot about.
Yes, with the damage I forgot about, but that's okay.
But any of your power too.
Because now I can go ahead and take Sergeant Steele out with this. Whoop.
And let's see if they play Bastion.
All right,
and Anvil
Hammer.
comes back. Nope. Oh, good. I'm glad the explosive wagon wasn't that target.
Yep.
He is going to hit us for a bunch, but that's fine. So it goes. You can hit him back.
Yes.
Blowing up my constructs. Come on, man. Hit the wagon.
All right, Hammer.
No constructs in play, but that +1 is nice. He still has cover fire, which is annoying because it gives him the defense even though Anvil's not around. Give myself a vitality conduit. I thought you were going to destroy.
Madness?
I thought you were going to try to destroy Hammer because he's the one who is actually dangerous compared to the Operative, whose turn isn't for like a while.
Yeah, I was trying to, but then I kind of did the math, and I was like, well, with the damage reduction, I don't think I could have destroyed him in my turn, so I wanted to like take someone completely out of the game.
Rest the mind on the explosives wagon.
Ooh. See, and I was just gonna mind spike. What's his name? But that is a much better decision.
Especially if you can get into your cocoon before it goes off. That's a good combo.
What is the lowest? Oh, we all have the lowest.
I would probably choose Haze because at least we know he's gonna. We don't know what the barrel would play.
Yeah, that's true.
He can hit the conduit.
Yeah.
Oh, but he's gonna take out a hero.
Alright, Visionary will take it.
I thought we want the rest of the mind thing. You don't want to do that?
If we kill the absolute... Oh, yeah, sorry. I was all turned around. That's fine.
Operative does nothing. And I don't... Actually, I can just kill Anvil with Lightspeed Barrages, so... There's no need for anything else. With a single Lightspeed Barrage, if you're okay with that.
Sure.
I know you want to do the other thing.
That's fine. We'll bubble him
Kill
up.
him.
Bubble
I
up,
can kill him
bubble,
from
bubble,
full hit
bubble up.
points with 2 of those. Blub, 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 blub.
The wagon would have been fun, yes, but that's okay.
You didn't get to play with your wagon.
Oh, I wanted to play with my wagon. Good times. All right. All right, we're 20 minutes out from 9 o'clock. I don't know that I'm prepared to play a third game.
Yeah, I think that's... We could open up for some questions, or I don't know what.
Yes, we can open up for some questions, or, well, I mean, or we could talk about who is going to be the next variant in the fall of the variants.
It's true.
So, what do you guys think? There's 4 choices. We got Fanatic, Captain Cosmic, Tempest, and Haka. So let's see if they can guess. And we'll tell the first person who actually guesses it correctly, we will let them know if they are right. So which of the Prime Wardens do you think is going to be the next to fall in the fall of the variants? Tempest, Haka, Fanatic, yes, those are the first 3 choices. And Werehog 3000 nails it. So let's pop that open. The Multiverse.
So that means I'm pressing the button to make it available now?
Go ahead.
All right. There you go.
So
you start your game.
So our next variant in the fall of the variants is the Xtreme Prime Wardens, Captain Cosmic, who has 1 question for you, John. Do you know what that question is?
Ask me the question.
Can I play with madness? That's the question, which is a great song. I'm going to have to listen to Iron Maiden on the way home because that is a great song. I believe it's from Seventh Son of the Seventh Son. Don't forget the Android button. No, so just to see, they're actually... Were you the one who reported that last week? So, like, last week...
It doesn't have to do with Android.
It doesn't have anything to do with Android. Yeah, it was just... John flipped the button. We flipped the switch. We made the announcement. And then our back end that handled some of those things, like, did a thing and, like, dis-unlocked it or unlocked it. And so, or relocked it, I guess you could say.
It reverted to some previous data.
It reverted, and we were like, wait, what's going on? And so we had to re-unlock it. But it ended up fine. It was only, I think, about 15 minutes total that it was relocked. But hopefully now everything will be re-unlocked, as it were.
I've got more golden guns than you've had hot dinners. Come and have a go if you think you're hot enough.
Disunlocked.
So, come and have a go at trying to unlock Xtreme Prime Wardens Captain Cosmic. And if you haven't got it by next week, too bad, sucker.
Too bad, so sad. Does anybody have any questions? We're here to answer them. And if the question is, how do I unlock Captain Cosmic?
That's the question.
We're not going to tell you.
Congratulations, Werehog 3000. You were the first to guess it.
Yes, indeed. You win the ability to go out and try to unlock Captain Cosmic.
Yes, only you. Cool.
So yeah, we are now 2 weeks into the Fall of the Variants. Last week went great. The timing was exactly what we were hoping for. Everybody was furiously working at it right up until the last minute, but then it was figured out. Braithwaite, who is a super Sentinels fan, did manage to figure it out. Or not maybe figure it out, but he was the first one to actually unlock it in the wild.
Yeah. Dragon 3, you're not going to get a hint 30 seconds after we announce it.
Yes.
Nor 30, you're not going to get a hint until at the earliest next Tuesday.
Yeah, we had actually talked about the idea that, if they haven't figured it out in time for the stream, we'll maybe put up a hint. But you guys figured it out, so we didn't need to do that.
Yeah. Believe in yourselves.
Who do you think is the best hero, says Boogie 2003? Any thoughts?
I think they're all great heroes. There's no best.
Yeah, I mean, best is, I prefer the questions that say, who is your favorite? Because that's different than who is the best, you know what I mean? I don't know that I have an answer to that one either, but it's a better question, who is the best sort of implies, an objective grading system, which I don't think there is. I'm also trying to type while I'm doing this. So.
What you typing?
I'm typing Xtreme Prime Wardens Captain Cosmic.
Oh, I see. You're doing marketing.
I'm trying to add them to the thingy. September 12th, 2017. Xtreme Prime Wardens Captain Cosmic status available for unlocking.
Thought you would have that already and just ready to press go.
Yeah, you can't do that on.
Yeah, but you could have the page up and then click save.
Yes, that I could have done that, but I figured it was adding two things, and there you go. So now that part is done. I have an email blast scheduled to go. Can you play with Madness? Would you recommend it? Is what Take Walker asks. So John, would you recommend playing with Madness?
In small doses.
Yeah, I think I concur with my illustrious colleague, John, that if you play with Madness, you should... I wouldn't play a game with Madness, but you can play around with Madness.
Are you too blind to see?
Man, I
Says
do
the
have
prophet.
to listen to that song. Says the prophet.
Looking at the lyric.
Okay, yeah. I was like, wait a minute. I know the next line, but I couldn't think of it off the top of my head. Seventh son of a seventh son. Seventh son of a seventh son. Oh, so Boogie 2003 then short circuits my thing, which says, who's your favorite hero? It actually changes with the seasons. I think
Who's your favorite winter hero?
Yeah, I'd say my current favorite hero.
Absolute Zero. Come on.
Yeah, my current favorite hero honestly has been Absolute Zero. The last few test games I've played, I've made sure to include an Absolute Zero in it. I really, once I started to figure out Absolute Zero, once I started to get it, I started playing him more and more and trying to find cool other ways to play him. And now that we have like once you got some variants for Absolute Zero, we've got not only the Freedom 6, but we've also got Termination. There are actually several different ways to play Absolute Zero, so I think he is definitely one of my favorites, if not my current total favorite for sure.
So your homework, Jeremy, is to learn how to play Sub-Zero Atmosphere.
Ugh.
If you say that you want to play Absolute Zero and it's your favorite, you got to know how to use that effect.
Yes, yeah, you're probably right. Yeah, I have never played Sub-Zero Atmosphere on the stream, but I have played it occasionally, very occasionally, in games that I've played on my own. So maybe I'll have to find a way to do that. Do either of you have a favorite variant of Absolute Zero? I mean, I have a favorite variant of Absolute Zero. Termination, come on.
I like the Freedom 5.
Yeah, Termination.
Not in the game yet.
Yeah, not in the game.
Video
not
game
in the
yet.
Video game yet. Yeah, What is Freedom 5 Absolute Zero's power?
He can search his deck for an ongoing card and put it into play and deal himself 2 fire damage.
Cool.
Pretty great. 17th Lord asks, when is a good time to use Coolant Blast? Jeremy?
All right, hang on. I don't have them all memorized, so let me bring it up, and then I will tell you when I think is a good time to do that. So,
okay.
Draw cards, Coolant Blast. Absolute Zero deals 1 non-hero target X cold damage, where X is the amount of fire damage that has been dealt to Absolute Zero since the end of your last turn. Oh my goodness. I used this card in the game with Termination Absolute Zero, and I dealt all the damage. It was it was amazing. So yes, the key to this, as with anything with Absolute Zero, the key is setup. Like getting yourself ready to be able to absorb the damage that you need to do in order to power things further down the line, which, base level Absolute Zero, that sort of goes without saying. You gotta get your things into play, and you gotta absorb some fire and use some cold and whatever. But when I played this in a game with Termination Absolute Zero, where the amount of damage he takes is increased by 2, and then the damage that he projects is also increased by 2, I think I did like 30 fire damage, or 30 cold damage with this after having taken whatever it would, do the math. I don't know what it is, but
yeah, fire and cold, and
yeah, like I had done several sort of machinations where I had taken the right amount to be able to kill the villain in a one shot with Coolant Blast. You just have to be keeping a close eye on what's happening on fire damage with this one, because, yes, he can deal himself fire damage, but like other villains or other targets can be dealing fire damage as well. So you got to keep sort of a running tally in your head, and of course you can always double click on this card if it's in play to see how that's going along. But yes, it can be really, really good. Yeah. So just as he says, it's really good with Termination Absolute Zero. When you get those extra boosts that sort of like boost each other, oh, good stuff.
Yeah, it basically lets you double the effectiveness of Isothermic Transducer, because for the damage you do yourself, or like Raw shoots Absolute Zero, and then that gets reflected there as cold. It's like, you might get a +1 or a +2 on that, but if you have Coolant Blast, then you're doubling it, right? So it can be really useful.
Definitely.
It also can be very useful sometimes in dire situations where you have some damage boosts, but you can't afford to hit yourself with Absolute Zero. You can still do 1 or 2 damage with Coolant Blast, even because it does 0 damage if you haven't been dealt damage. So
yes,
that can still be useful.
Bam!
When you're set up, it's definitely one of the end game cards, along with Thermal Shockwave for Absolute Zero.
Oh yeah, Thermal Shockwave. That's one that's like, I constantly find myself having to do the mental math on Thermal Shockwave. It's like,
to make sure you don't kill yourself.
Exactly. Like, wait a minute. All right, if I hit myself, if I hit one more thing for how much cold damage? How much is it gonna do? Okay, hang on now. But yeah. I think that's one of the reasons why Absolute Zero is the most fun, because Absolute Zero is a character who I find myself trying to do the mental math, but it's not. I don't find it frustrating. There are other characters who have mental math that I find frustrating. And I'm trying to think of who that might be.
Yeah, I think one of the things that's probably frustrating for you with Termination Absolute Zero is you have to resist using his power for a while.
Yes.
Most of the time. Like, he's his power is not going to be good to use on the first turn almost always.
Almost always, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly, because it's like you're trading more damage to yourself for not as much damage that he's projecting out. And it seems like it could be good, because it's like, oh man, if I can just get my Isothermic Transducer out, yeah, I'll take 3 damage, but I'll be able to do 5 damage. It's like, well, but early in the game, that can be a trade-off you don't necessarily want to make if you can trade it for like 5 damage to like 20 damage later in the game.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. All right, I'm sure nobody's even watching this anymore because they're all up busy trying to figure out how to get Captain Cosmic. So I guess I'll pop open my thingy and do my spiel. So thank you, everybody, for joining us for another episode of Sentinels Live. We do hope that you're all tuning in to us every week. We do this at 7 p.m. Eastern Time on Tuesdays. And as you all know, Sentinels of the Multiverse is the only cooperative comic book themed card game that you should be playing. Certainly not that legendary DPX or whatever it is.
It's not comic book.
It's not
I play
comic
it.
book.
It's not comic books.
And they're not doing. Have they issued updates to fix?
Oh yeah, it's much better than that launch.
Oh, is it? Okay, good.
And they're working on bringing it to Android and Steam, so I think it's gonna get better. But yeah, they don't have
I
the
believe it could be
license,
good
so.
at some point, but it is not as good as Sentinels yet.
It's still really like they are targeting it more at the competitive aspect, and that's with the cooperative. So it doesn't feel cooperative at all.
Gotcha.
But it's fun. It's a good game. Like
right.
it's actually, I never want to play it on tabletop because you have to spend like as much time setting up and tearing down the game as you do playing it. But on digital, you don't need to worry about that. So,
all right. So thank you for joining us. I think I just mentioned that we do this every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern. If you do enjoy the show, please do like, share, follow, and subscribe. Excuse me. Sentinels of the Multiverse is currently available for iOS, Android, and Steam, and always in good old analog cardboard and ink. And you can find more info and download the free demo at sentinelsdigital.com. I'm Jeremy.
I'm John, and don't forget, on Thursday, bottom of the 9th, comes out with the Universal Update for iPad and Android tablets. And I think we didn't mention yet that there's no Dolphins Dive this week.
I did actually mention that up
Okay.
front, but I completely neglected to mention that there's a dev stream tomorrow.
That's important.
That is important, yes. So I know that there are a ton of you out there who love the music that Jean-Marc makes for this game. Jean-Marc is going to be doing a dev stream tomorrow at, I believe, 1 p.m. Eastern. It might be 2 p.m. Eastern. I have to double check with him. But sometime tomorrow afternoon, Jean-Marc is going to be doing some soundscaping for a new environment for the game. So we will definitely tweet it and make sure that you guys hear about it. But if you're looking for more interesting stuff, check that out tomorrow. Jean-Marc, dev stream, 1 or 2 p.m. Eastern. Watch our Twitter or our Facebook. We will make sure to spread the word about that. And as John said, no Dolphins Dive on Thursday, but there will be a Tales from the Archive on Sunday. So that is what's happening in
Yay,
the
news
show notes thingy.
Yeah, and as always, the show tomorrow, if you can't make it in the afternoon, will be up on Twitch later and on YouTube later too.
Exactly. Alrighty, so thank you everybody. Have a fantastic evening. We will see you around the multiverse.
Have fun playing with madness.
Alright, good night everybody.